Attention passengers, this is SNY's Keith Hernandez, and this is a Queens-bound 7 express train, the fastest way to Citi Field to see your Metsies.
What up, everybody? What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy, David from Top Bunk Sports, and I am joined with three special people. Obviously, my co-host, Chris and AP. What up, fellas?
You.
Queens get the money.
No.
$1 bill, y'all. And we got a special guest. He was here with us last episode. None other than my guy, Amish. What up, baby?
What up? Thanks for having me again. You had me a third time. You might just have to make me a permanent co-host.
Hey,
there we go.
Hey,
you get paid no money. Just telling you that.
I'm good. I work for free. It's all good.
It's 1 cent an episode, so you're good. But and appreciate you joining us again, man. Fellas, we're 1 day away. Opening day is finally here. The moment is finally here. Tomorrow, we will be officially playing. We will be playing Game 1 in Houston.
Hold up. Time out. We can't start this. We can't start this episode without saying Merry Season Eve, everybody. Merry Season Eve.
Right.
Let's go.
AP is ready. Look, he got the Scully on and everything.
AP.
I'm no AP. You bring it in the snow. I don't want no snow, man.
Hey,
we getting close to 80 on Saturday. So F that snow. It's got to get out of here.
It's summertime. Summertime is right around the corner. I can't wait. But fellas, like I said before, we are here. The talk is no more talking. Just straight playing, straight games, and I can't wait until we hear Juan Soto's name on the announcements and he's walking up to the plate. It is going to be like a breath of fresh air because for a couple reasons. Number one, we got a superstar to play with Francisco Lindor. All that bat carrying, all everything that he's done, no more. He's got a superstar next to him to really help him and again try to chase this ring. We got Alonso back. Obviously, everything's unfolding. Clay Holmes is starting. Like everybody is waiting for Clay Holmes to pick up hit the ball for the Mets on opening day. There's a lot to really discuss, but the first thing that I want to discuss is obviously what David Stern said today. Opening day rosters: Brett Beatty, Max Kranick, Hayden Senger, and Huascar Brazaban are all on the opening day roster. How we feel about that, fellas?
I mean,
Chris, you want to go?
Yeah, go ahead, AP. No, go ahead, AP.
No, I was gonna say. Well, the only dude that I was disappointed that we weren't going to be bringing back was the pickup that we had from Chicago. I feel like, man, I'm blanking on his last name. I know it's Alex. Say it one more time, please.
Alexander
Canaro, yeah. I feel like Canaro, and I apologize, I'm showing my age because I'm like, my memory's like shit. But Canaro to me had so much upside potential. I feel like he was one of those guys that, I mean, I know it was spring training, but you saw bursts of his power. The dude hit like 2 home runs literally like 2 or 3 days ago in a game. I just feel like there was just no spot to put him unless you would have found a trade partner for Marte. And then this is where it's like I was hesitant even then because we do have 2 guys in Siri that could potentially hit below 200 where you're going to be like, oh, man, like we just got rid of Marte and now we don't have any protection down in that lineup. So it's like you don't want to have him and then Taylor who could potentially like not hit for average either. So it's like you had to have some type of protections. And I think Marte with being the veteran that he is and he brings, the longevity of being a guy that hits you over 270 for the entirety of his career. So it's kind of hard for you to say like, oh, let's bring in this kid and then like he comes in and what if he craps the bed? And then you have him doing nothing, and then possibly Sir. It's too many intangibles that you just didn't want to just like take a gamble on. So yeah, he was the odd man out. I'm not in favor of Blackburn being on this team. To be honest, I don't feel like he brings a lot to the table pitching wise. I know that we need pitching depth, but I think that if you would have exposed him to waivers, I'm not 100% sure anybody's picking him up. I don't think that he's somebody that we would have been like sweating over, like, oh man, Blackburn's gonna leave us for. I wouldn't have lost any sleep, but I know that we need pitching depth. And he's on the IL anyways. I don't know if it's a phantom IL because this is just very random that it happened literally a day before. But I think yeah, it was Canaro was the only one guy that I was like, man, it would have been interesting. But we do see what this roster is made up of. You have Acuna who made the roster because we needed a backup at those multiple positions, and I think that Beatty getting the first crack at second opens up that possibility for Acuna to be that backup at those positions, and we don't have a right-handed utility infielder other than him, so that had to happen for him. I'm happy for the kid. He's not much of a kid now, but our backup catcher making it. I think that's pretty cool that Singer got a chance to get his feet wet in the MLB, and hopefully he could do some things. Um, the one dude that I don't know why we brought him in and we didn't send him to AAA is Brazambon. I think that he just hasn't like shown any consistency here. I think Genesis Cabrera would have been a really good person to have in that bullpen as an additional lefty. I think that he's proven what he could do. I don't know how much like he has to do in AAA to get a call up, but I don't understand not having two lefties up in the pen. I just don't get it. Like I think that Minter coming off that hip injury, you would have had Cabrera lighting the load, and I thought that that would have made a lot of sense to have two lefties in there. I don't know what you get from Brazabon unless you're bringing him in. Are you bringing him in tight situations? Are you bringing him in crucial spots where you need outs? Where are you bringing him in? Like if you don't trust him, then you're only bringing him in when you don't want to burn other arms. And I think it's a complete waste. I just think Cabrera should have been on this pen from the jump. I love that Kranich is in there, but yeah, I think those two. And I know I was just talking about Canary, but I thinking about the pen and how it's made up. I really would have liked to have seen Cabrera. Hopefully, he gets his shot. Not due to anybody getting injured, but I think just proving it and having that capability of having that second lefty in the pen.
Chris?
Oh yeah, I mean, I agree with everything AP said. Yeah, the guys that came in like Singer was for me number one option, bro. This kid's been in the minors for long enough. We know that he has a strong arm. He's demonstrated that. Well, only one guy made it safe in all the games he played. They tried. He kept throwing guys out, and then like I said, that position, like I said, we were spoiled to have a kid that has offensive potential and that from that position. From reality, that position is just defense. Just give me the hold the runner, hold the runner game, the running game, and we'll be set. Like the rest, this offense is built to not have really offense from your catcher's position, but we were built that way because we were spoiled that way. We had the potential to have that, but no, the kid is getting healthy now, and Sanger, bro, listen, if he's throwing the way he's throwing, that's not a fluke, obviously, because he's done it all spring training, throwing runners out, and then you got Terrence that he knows he can play great defense and everything. He's throwing guys out, bro. That's all we need from that position. Just control the running game. That happened. That was our biggest flaw last year. The running game. People were stealing with their eyes closed on us. So hopefully they can control that. Pitchers can control that. And Canario, yeah, I get it, but remember we picked them up from scraps from basically Chicago couldn't keep him on their roster, so we picked him up, and I wanted to keep him as a AAA depth because you just don't know when these guys will stay healthy all season. We all know what Marte is. Eventually, he's gonna stub a toe and he's gonna hit the injury because that's just Marte. So it stinks that we're not gonna have that depth because if he goes to the waiver wire, we know he's gonna get picked up, and we know that. But other than that, I'm not looking too much into it. It is what it is. Tyrone Taylor is our fourth outfielder. We know that. That's all. That was. We have six outfielders. We couldn't. There was no more spot for another one. And yeah, Beatty, kudos to him. He ripped in the spring training. He showed that so far. Let's see, we've seen this story before, but he showed that spring that he earned a spot on the team. And Acuna's the backup guy. And then they're gonna do the platoon route. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. I don't know. But Mendoza said that Beatty's gonna get most of the rep. We'll see how that goes. And the bullpen, yeah, could have used another. I don't know if Young didn't make the team, right? I don't think Young made the team.
I don't.
So that could have been the other lefty on the bullpen. But it is what it is. We'll see how
Can we
that goes.
confirm that? Because I thought that they had said that he was gonna make the team. No, he's not on the team.
I think he did. I think he's.
Yeah, I
the
thought he
So
made
then
it.
that's two lefties. That
Yeah.
is the second lefty of the bullpen.
And now that I think about it, yeah. But would you
Yeah,
have,
mention
and this is to all of you, would you have brought Young in place of Cabrera? Like, I don't understand that move.
No, I would have taken the Cabrera more because he has
I would
more
have
upside.
taken the
But
Cabrera, yeah.
they have their reasons why, and yeah, I mean, I'm okay. I just ready to go. I mean, ready to rock the season, and
Yeah, man.
let's see what happens. Amish,
Yeah,
what's your
Amish, talk to me.
thought on
What's your whole opinion on the opening day roster move so far and everything else?
Yeah, I don't have any issues with any of the roster moves, to be honest. I mean, I can see why you would want Cabrera over Young, but Cabrera didn't have a good spring. He pitched to a near 7 ERA. When you're battling for a spot, you gotta put up better numbers than that.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't. Meanwhile, Brazaban pitched to a 1.69 ERA. Again, it's spring numbers, but when you're battling for a spot on the team and a fringe like last
Mhm.
man on the roster type spot, you gotta perform. Like, you can't go out there pitching like you got it locked. So I understand why they went with Young over Cabrera. It's not. I think Cabrera has. Does Cabrera have options? Like, they can.
No,
They can.
I
Yeah,
don't think
he had. I believe
does?
he's
He
going
does?
on the
Oh.
minors. Yeah.
Yeah. So they can keep him in the organization. So it's all good there. Yeah. I mean, can't argue with Senger. He deserves a shot. It's not like we had much better, to be honest. Like, it is what it is. It's the backup catcher spot. It isn't a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
You had to put Beatty on the roster the way he was hitting. Once McNeil went down, there was just no question. Acuna makes sense to have him. I mean, some might argue you don't want to waste him on the bench or whatever, but just with that injury changed a lot. Like, probably one of them doesn't make the team, and that's it. Like, the way things went, Acuna probably wouldn't have made the team had McNeil stayed healthy, but McNeil got hurt, so we go with both the young kids and we see which one of them shines. Hopefully they both do. Fuck it. Like, there's no reason they both can't, like, do damage. And yeah, I mean, the Blackburn injury is what it is. I wasn't counting on him much, to be honest. Hurts the depth a little bit, but we'll work through it. Mania, I guess we got some good news. Like, he's been progressing pretty good. I love Kranick. I really think he's gonna do well for us. So yeah, man, we'll see. I don't have an issue with, like, given all the with the injuries and everything. I don't have an issue with what we did.
Yeah, I think when it comes to the Acuna thing, it's very interesting because we were all expecting him to make the roster, especially what he showed last year in the playoffs. So then when he's kind of the last minute addition, and I do agree with you, Amish. It's one of those things where he would have not made it if Jeff McNeil didn't get hurt, and that's the crazy part, because it's like it just shows that at any moment anything could happen. Like, the expectation of what he was gonna make the roster. Then he kind of goes cold in spring training, and then Jeff McNeil gets hurt, and it's like, all right, you have Brett Beatty, who you already said he's gonna play second base because you can't leave him off there because he's hot. And then your second option is, well, we have to have Acuna because, you know, Ronnie's not ready, and then obviously Jeff is hurt. So those are your only two options right now. In terms of the bullpen, I don't really think they had much option. Of course, I probably would have went with Cabrera, but that's because I kind of seen Cabrera a little bit more. Yes, he struggled, but I know what his potential is. I do understand why they went with Young. So they kind of have their options. I think they're a little bit limited in terms of their options in the bullpen. So that's going to be pretty interesting to see what they do in terms of the bullpen. The rotation, I can't really. I'm ready for the starting rotation. When guys are healthy, when Frankie Montas comes back, obviously, like you said, Amish, we got good news on Sean Manaea, so that's great. But there are a lot of guys in this rotation, like a Kodai Senga, like a Clay Holmes, who we really have a lot of faith on, who again have question marks, right? They haven't really shown anything yet in terms of consistency, including Senga, right? We've only seen a 1-year success with Senga before he got hurt. Then you're talking about a brand new pitcher in our rotation in Clay Holmes. So there's a lot of question marks. A second year David Peterson, who I'm excited for. I can't wait for him to see what he does in his second year since what he did last year. So there's a lot of question marks in terms of the rotation. But then you're talking about this lineup. I mean, I think we've gone over it multiple times how deep that this lineup is. That's where everything kind of structures. If their offense and their lineup is gelling together and their pitching could keep them afloat, I think this team is going to be very dangerous. A lot of people don't even have us winning the division, and I think it's a disrespect and it's a slap in the face to what this lineup can do. If this lineup is mashing almost every game, I think we can win the division. And there's a lot of people already putting out predictions in terms of record. I've seen a lot of people say we could get 90 wins. I do agree. What do you guys think? Where do you guys see the record being for at the end of the year?
Well, what we're gonna do with that, I think that we're gonna show like the month to month. So I think once we have all that, we could like do that one. But what I wanted to bring up in terms of like the disrespect, I think where we're getting disrespected on, and I mean I understand it to a certain degree. I think the pitching is getting disrespected on this team, and I think what the pitching I think what people need to start doing is really looking deeper into the Mets team and just saying, like, I think that something that people aren't putting together with what this team, their capability is the bullpen. I think the bullpen has the potential to be a weapon. And if you look at the winners of the World Series, normally a team that has a good point offense, has a decent starting pitching staff, and a really strong bullpen usually win in October. We got some horses in the back of the stable this year, and you can't front on that. If we get Nunez back healthy, if we get AJ Minter, who's been a workhorse, if we get Diaz there, I think Kranick is the wild card here because I think that Kranick has the potential to be what Nunez was for us last year. Like Nunez really solidified that 8th inning role, and if Kranick could turn it up, you know what that could do for this bullpen? You could pretty much state, like, if we could get solid pitching for 5 innings and you could turn it over for a bullpen that could throw you a Budo in 6, then you go Kranick 7, and then you can mix match AJ Minter and Nunez in the 8th, and then you got Diaz in the 9th. Well, then I want to see what you guys talk about our pitching, because a lot of people opening their mouths. I've seen it. They're like, "Oh, the Mets starting pitching, blah blah blah." Yo, the Mets starting pitching isn't bad, man. A lot of people are sleeping on what Peterson did. A lot of people are sleeping on Senga because he got hurt last year. I don't even understand the injury stuff with Senga because he missed a year. Why all of a sudden, because a pitcher misses a year, they lose their magic powers? I don't understand it. Like, we're gonna act like Senga wasn't like out there shutting down teams all year the year before. All right, we'll see. I mean, if he's healthy, we'll see what happens. We saw what Manaea could do here. So that's already 3. Clay Holmes is a wild card, but I think Clay Holmes has the repertoire right now to be a solid player. Where I see with the Mets and him is because of the I guess the fact that he's just starting to be a starting pitcher and building up on those innings and everything. I wonder what the Mets are going to do with him as the year progresses. Like if he's having a really strong beginning of the year, what's gonna happen later on? Because they said they're not doing pitching limits, but I don't see how you could get a pitcher who's never done this for a full year and then say you're going to do this like 162 and God willing the playoffs too, and we're just going to let you go. I don't know. They're going to have to be creative with him. I don't know if it's skipping starts. I don't know what it is, but they're going to have to figure out a way to like keep his arm fresh because he's going to hit a wall. Like I equate this to like players that come from like the NCAA, like in basketball. You always hear like, oh, they play a certain amount of games, and then they hit a wall because they're not used to the schedule length. And I think that's probably going to happen to Holmes. Hopefully not, but I just like logically thinking about it, he hasn't pitched that many innings. So if we're pushing him to do so, I just wonder what they're going to do to alleviate some of that by the end so he's not put in a situation where he's just not as effective. But I do think that if we look at this team objectively, like I don't want to be a homer. Like I don't want to sit there and be like, yo, I only see the world through the Mets' eyes. I'm looking at this team and this rotation, and I'm like, okay, the rotation has potential to be adequate to better than average. I don't think it's awful. I just think that it's not top 5 or whatever. I think that they could be, top 10. But if you look at the numbers, no, like I said, look at the numbers of the teams that win in October, and you could win a championship with this pitching staff. You have the makings of a great bullpen, and the offense has potential to be great too. Now they have to live up to it. So that on paper it could look one way, but we have to pray for health, and we have to pray that this offense clicks and does what it could potentially do. So if it does do that, I think that this team has the potential to not just be a wild card. They could challenge for. I don't think anybody's running away from this division by any stretch. I don't think the Braves are going to open up a 10-game lead. I don't think Philadelphia is going to. I think it's going to be really tight between those three teams. They're going to beat each other up all year. And I think where it's going to, what the difference is going to be, is really going to be how they beat up on the Nationals in Miami and how they beat up on everybody else. I think that's what's going to differentiate the teams, because I do think it's going to be a war against the Braves. I think it's going to be a war against the Phillies. Where do the Mets separate themselves from everybody else? Are they going to be able to take advantage of, well, we'll talk about in a minute, the schedule early on, and see if they can put some distance there and then build up on it? I think, Chris, you had said like that you were hoping for give me like a couple of 500 months instead of struggling, and then keep us afloat instead of like what we did last year where we were just like nosediving. I think we started we lost like 15 of the first 22 or something like that. So we definitely got to do way better than that if we're going to try to compete for the division.
Oh no, yeah, I was just saying. Well, I just didn't want to see no crazy May or June that we've been seeing the last couple of years. But give me a second, bro. I'm having it.
No, I got you.
I understand. Right now. I understand Chris's point. You don't want to start off on a bad foot like you did last year, where you went winless for 5 games. You end the season with the losing record. They were like 27-36 when they went into the All-Star break, if I'm not mistaken, and then that's when it turned around. You want to make sure that you end the first half of the season at least with a winning record, because by the middle of June is kind of where where your season is going for the most part. And you're going to have some of the players that are starting off on a cold foot. It's baseball. We're not expecting everybody in the lineup to be hot. Now, granted, if that's the case, if it does happen that way, I'll take it. But baseball is baseball. You're going to have guys that are going to go through their funks, and they're going to go through their cold stretches in the beginning. Hell, I would not even be shocked, and I'm not saying this to put negativity out there. I wouldn't be shocked if Clay Holmes has jitters and he gives up maybe 5 hits, maybe a run or 2. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is still opening day. There's a lot of pressure on the guy because of where he came from, the role that he's put in now from where he was previous to now making him the opening day star. That's a lot, man. I don't care if you're a professional athlete. That you're a human being at the end of the day. And sometimes certain people deal with that a different way. And pressure is pressure. It doesn't matter who you are. Certain people, no matter what field they're in, certain people know how to deal with pressure in a good way, and certain people don't know. So we don't know how that's going to be. Mind you, last year when it came to pressure situations with Clay Home, he was getting killed. Yeah. So again, this is another pressure situation in a different role where we don't know how that's going to work out. So,
yeah. But Top, I was going to mention, like, and I'll open it up to all of you guys. So you guys, are you shocked or surprised that he got tabbed for the opening day start?
No, I'm not sure. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. I think this is one of those where, again, I was surprised in terms of in a little bit. I'll say I won't lie. I was surprised just a little bit because I thought Senga would have got that option. But I think what they're doing here is, okay, we got somebody in Clay Holmes that really has some nasty stuff as a starting pitcher. You know what? Instead of us having to wait, why don't we throw him out there the first game and see what he can do in his first game? Why wait? Why wait until a couple games to see what he could do? Let's give him that opportunity now. Since Senga's coming off that injury and he still needs a little bit more time to recuperate, why don't we give this young kid who's a new free agent that signed with us and he's going into starting pitching role, why don't we give him that opportunity to see what he does in his first game with the keys in his hands? And I think it's a bold move. I think it's a smart move because we know how this pitching lab is. We know what their mindset is with starting pitchers. So again, I was just a little bit shocked that they didn't go the Senga route, especially with Manaea going down, because I think if Manaea was hurt, I think they would have gone with Manaea. But I like the confidence that they're giving not only in themselves, but with Clay Holmes is saying, listen, this is you're free to do whatever you want. You know what I'm saying? You're free to make changes to your pitching mix. You're free. You're a starting pitcher now. Go ahead and knock the ball out the park. So yeah.
Let's throw it to Amish. What do you think, Amish?
Yeah, I think it all comes down to Senga. Like if he was dominant in spring, something tells me that they would have rolled with him. I think because he struggled a little bit, he was finding his mechanics. He himself kept saying after every start he made that he was kind of tinkering with things. I think they wanted to give him more time. They're being like super cautious with the dude. So that was pretty much the only other option. I mean, I don't think McGill was going to get it. They weren't going to give it to Canning. Maybe you could argue Peterson because of longevity on the team. Like maybe they could have thrown him a bone. But with the way Holmes pitched in the spring and like how well he prepared and whatnot, and I think the fact that he was getting ready like earlier than any other pitcher, like he's been ramping himself up to be a starter, so he's kind of had the one up on everybody else. So I think that kind of helped them with that decision too. Like he's more prepared than any other starter going into the season because he started working early just to build his arm up. As far as him getting through the season, that is a concern. I think them going with a 6-man through the year will alleviate that a little bit because he won't have to pitch as much. But at some point, they might have to. I mean, they might cut a few starts short a little bit. We'll see how it goes, but hopefully he does it. I mean, we've seen other guys do it. I don't know. I don't remember exactly like how it worked out for like Michael King and Lugo per se. I know Lugo, they kind of bounced back and forth in the rotation when the Mets had to use him in the rotation. But when he finally got to start, I think full time when he left, like I don't think he limited his innings much, but he had more experience though. So I don't know. We'll see. I think like you said, a lot of people sleep on this rotation, but I know we have a GM or a president that's not afraid to like move on from guys if they're not pitching well. He does have some options in the minor leagues. I think we are going to see eventually a trade at some point this season for an arm. I just think it's going to happen. And yeah, I just think he has options. And like you said, that people sleep on the bullpen. People also sleep on the fact that this offense can carry a mediocre rotation.
Mm-hmm.
I really think they can. I think as long as the rotation is league average, this offense can carry this team to 90 wins. I really do think so. So, yeah, man. I mean, I'd say I would maybe like minimally shocked that Clay Holmes got the start, but I have no issue with it.
Right. Before we get on to the next topic, I do want to get into the chat. We haven't even said what up to the people in the chat the entire time. Shout out to the 160 that is in here. We got my guy Mez up in here. What up, Mez? We got my guy Jacob in here. What's good, Jacob? He says, best of luck to the boys in Queens this year. Yes, sir. Steve Mac 23. LFGM, AP out here talking to the people. He was like, I ain't gonna hold y'all up. And talking about not doing his job. Master Flip, well, he said, let's get it, boys. We got Johnny Appleseed. I don't even know who you are, but he said, yo, he said LFGM, no effing excuses. He said, I think we light it up to start the season. Longevity and consistency will be the key. And then Steve again says, I wouldn't be surprised if Stearns already had several pitchers in mind. Interesting. But before we get into the scheduling and our prediction on the record, what I am going to do with you guys, because I won't give my opinions on this. This is more for you guys. I will throw a couple of names out there that's in our rosters, and you guys give me your predictions on how you guys think they will pan out. So starting with Mark Vientos, we'll go with Amish. How you think Mark Vientos is going to do in his second year?
I don't know. I think people are torn whether he's gonna live up to last season or whether he's gonna fall off the face of the earth. I think there's some people that are concerned about it. I'm not. I think he's going to improve on last season. I really do. Mm-hmm. He's got more protection in the lineup. He's another year into it. He's not having to. I think last year he put so much focus on the defense. And I'm not saying that obviously didn't take away from his offense, but when you have to hyper focus on getting better at something, it does kind of take away from other things. And I think this year, with a little more comfort at the position and just knowing it's his job, like I think he's gonna feel less pressure and just go out there and light it up. I honestly not that worried about him at all. I think he's gonna hit 30 homers. Might get close to 100 RBIs, batting averages, whatever. I don't know. Well, I think if he gives you anything close to 250, you got to be happy. I don't see him regressing. I really don't. I hope I'm not jinxing the dude, but I don't see it.
Chris.
Oh, I agree with Amish. I mean, how can people think this man is gonna have a sophomore slump when this man performed in the biggest stage of them all, like in the postseason? He hit 5 home runs in the postseason, hit 3-something, had the most RBIs in the postseason for the Mets record. Like, and I'm gonna be worried about a sophomore slump. I'm gonna be worried about the pitchers that's pitching to him. That's what I'm worried about. Like, yeah, they the ones that's gonna be worried. So yeah, I think he's gonna live off of it. His confidence is through the roof. It's hard. I haven't seen a Mets player like that in a long time, especially a rookie with that kind of confidence. So yeah, I think he's gonna hit 30 plus, driving 100, and yeah, like Amr said, the average I don't care about that stuff. As long as he's doing what he live off of last year. Remember, he had 30 plus, including the playoffs last year, and he came up in May. So I feel like he is very controlled player. Like he don't let nothing get to him. He's very chilled and everything. So I think he'll be just fine. I'm not worried about him.
He told people he took it personal when they walked when they decided to walk Lindo. That boy, when you got a rookie in that type of confidence, man, I'll be scared if I'm a pitcher. I mean, he ended up hitting the ball the other way for a grand slam. Just tells you where he's at. Like, it's just the confidence on that kid. Oh man, you're right, Chris. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that type of confidence on the Mets in terms of a rookie. That's what he did is impressive, and I think he's. This is why I was fighting so much in terms of keeping him as a number 2 hitter, because he did all that as a number 2 hitter. And, Juan Soto is Juan Soto. But I would have loved to tell this kid, listen, you earned that right to be the number 2 hitter to start the season because of what you did. Because he easily could have went cold in the playoffs, and we could have had a different conversation about Mark Vientos in terms of just playoff pressure. But he didn't show no pressure at all when it came to the big lights. So I think he's earned that. And I've always said, like, Juan Soto is a vet, and he's going to hit wherever you put him. Number 2 hitter, number 3 hitter, no matter what his stats are, Juan Soto is going to deliver no matter where you put him in the lineup. So that's why I was always preaching, like, hey, Mark Vientos, if I had to, if I was Mendy, I'd go Lindor leadoff and put Mark Vientos as your number 2 and Juan Soto as your number 3, just because Mark Vientos as a rookie, you want to show love, you want to show appreciation for what that kid did for you last year. And I think that's a way of showing your appreciation by letting him earn that spot. So, he definitely earned a lot of respect. AP, what's your thoughts on this?
I mean, the dude definitely showed up when we needed him the most. So, like, he definitely performed above any rookie performance that we could have expected. I think what I want to see him do is solidify his defense. I think his defense needs to take a step up too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little nervous sometimes on those bunts. Like, sometimes I'm a little nervous with how he fields certain things. He made some errors in the playoffs that, like, especially in that Phillies game, where I felt like those are plays he has to make. So this year, I really want to see him take a step up to make sure that he's owning this position. Like, I think that's where I want to see the focus be. I want to see the level of play on the field be a little bit crisper. And I don't know, like, I think that would, to me, solidify him more of an overall player. I don't want him to just be like a bat. Like, I want him to be a reliable third baseman. And he does make, it's crazy because he does make some of the most, he makes the spectacular plays at times, but it's just the routine plays that sometimes I just feel like that's where he's lacking. So I want to make sure that he's an overall player and he's not just focusing on one side of the ball. I know that he's on that side with Francisco, so I'm sure that they're going over things and he's putting in the work. Just really want him to take that next step as being the best fielder that he could be. And then I think that the rest should take care of itself. Like, if he could tweak that and put the batting together like he did last year, I mean, sky's the limit on his potential. He's young enough where he could possibly hold down that position for a good 10 years if he does that. So we'll see.
Next player that I want to talk about in terms of prediction, Mr. Pete Alonso. We all know how we felt about him last year in terms of his striking out on sliders, and then obviously when we all thought he was done, he comes up in the wild card, came in with the save, and then obviously had himself a solid postseason. But what do you guys think, Peter? What Pete Alonso you guys think we're gonna get this year in terms of what he did last year, and then obviously the whole contract thing, and not just him being back, getting that contract. So what's your prediction? I'll start off with Amish. Amish, what are your predictions on Pete Alonso this year?
I never know with Pete. I go back and forth with this dude. Like, I am glad he's back. Like, I had my moments last year where I was completely done with him, and if he doesn't hit that home run, I probably am still done with him. I'm not gonna lie.
A lot of us are. Right. Right.
I gotta think that given adding Soto to this lineup does make a difference for Pete Alonso. I think naturally he's going to see better pitches, even if Soto's hitting in front of him. Like, people are not going to want to have Lindor, Soto, and then put Alonso on or on top of that. Like, he's going to get his pitches. He has to lay off the slider. I don't know that he can. We'll see. I think he will. I think he'll be a little better this year. I don't think he's gonna have like some like huge like year. Like I don't think he's going back to 2019 Pete Alonso or anything like that. But I think he easily. I mean, the guy has the power to easily hit 30 home runs in his sleep. So if he can get you 30, 40 bombs, if he can improve the average a little bit,
Right.
I'd like to see him hit, and he's proven he can do it in the past. Like, give me over 250. Like, if you can do that, plus give me the power, like, then we're on to something. I can't say I'm fully confident because I've just seen the last 2 years and how he's looked, but I do like his demeanor this spring. He seems comfortable. He seems like it seemed like last year at times I felt he just looked stressed the hell out. Like he just seemed like he wasn't like comfortable. Like I don't know if the contract was weighing on him or what the hell was going on, but there were just times last year where it looked like he'd rather be anywhere else.
Mhm.
And I feel like this spring, like I get the feeling like he's back in a comfortable place. So we'll see. I think he has the potential to have a pretty good season. I'm just not 100% confident about it.
Right. Chris, what's your predictions on Pete Alonso this year?
Oh man, Pete is a weird one to figure out, but like Amish said in the spring, it looks like he seems to be going more the other way, and we saw it during the playoffs. And then in the spring, he looks like he continued the same thing. He is taking more walks. I
Right.
don't know if that's a Soto thing getting to his head, teaching him as a strike zone type. I don't know what that is, but I'm with Amish, man. 30 home runs is gonna do it. He's gonna do it regardless. I think he hits mistake. Like he by mistake hits 30 by mistake. Like even if he's flating at those sliders and he hits those out sometimes. But it's where he can if he can at least hit 250 and above. That's a game changer right there. Hit more for doubles and opposite field hits and stuff. Yeah, then yeah, I can see that he's gonna have a good year. No, I wouldn't say I in my mind because I'm being biased here. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm being biased. I'm bringing the whole Soto thing of it and everything and what I think he's gonna hit 40. I think I could see him hit 40. I really could. Like 250 maybe. If he can do that, man, I'm running with that. But I could see him hit 40. I really could.
AP.
I think Alonso. I think Alonso's not going to have the pressure on him, and I think that's what Soto does. For the Soto effect is going to be huge. I think what Soto's going to do for Pete is that he's going to help kind of alleviate some of the pressure that Alonso's been putting on his shoulders to be like the beast of this lineup. I think Soto being here makes Soto kind of like the main focal point in offense, and I think that Pete's just going to run into some home runs just because you're going to have Soto on base and Lindor doing what he needs to do, and then you have Vientos. It's not gonna be the Pete and that's it like Mets lineup anymore. And I think that we're gonna see a different type of Pete. I think that Pete's growth is really going to be on whether he's going to expand the strike zone or not. And I think that that's up to Pete to decide if he's going to try to be that hero type where he's trying to jack like 7-run home runs all the time, or if he's going to be the type that's going to be like, okay, I'm going to keep the line moving. I don't have to. We have the Lindors, we have the Sotos in front of me that get on, so I don't have to hit like necessarily swing out of my shoes. I could settle for a single or a double that could then keep the line moving for a Vientos and a Nemo. This lineup is just too good. Like I really do think that if Pete accepts that he doesn't have to do too much, and he like instead of, like I said, swinging out his shoes and swinging at balls outside of the zone, if he's cool with like, look, if they're gonna walk me, chances are Soto's on base. Chances are then that's going to put more pressure on the pitcher because now you're wasting more bullets in your ammo, and now we got more people on base for everybody else. So he's just got to control the strike zone. If he controls the strike zone, he could be a dominant offensive force because nobody's going to tell me if Pete Alonso is capable of hitting 250 this year, he's not going to have a monster year. Pete Alonso at 250, an on base, give me an on base for him, what? 350, 360, and then give me his regular numbers of like 35 home runs. And with this lineup, if he hits 250, I almost feel like it'd be crazy to say that he finished with like 100 and just like 120, because I could see with 250 he could go 130, 135, 140. I just feel like there's going to be so many people on the base paths that if you're hitting anywhere above 250, you have potential in the middle of this lineup to really have a high RBI total. So we'll see. I mean, I think he's just got to basically, like I said, just avoid expanding the zone, just staying within himself. The power's going to come because that dude is just, he's a polar bear. So anything in he could middle up, it's gone. So just got to calm down. I think another thing in terms of the pressure, I, knock on wood, really want to make sure that in his mind he's not going crazy trying to break Daryl's record. Like, that's the only pressure that I could see him put on himself. Like, oh man, I want to break the Mets record this year. Please, the faster that he could get that out of his system, the better. But I really, and I was talking about this with some of the guys. I think that, like, not just Pete, but the entire lineup has the potential to break the Mets all single season home run record, which was, I think, set in like 2018 or 2019. It wasn't that far off. I think this lineup is better than that lineup, and I think that they have the potential to hit more home runs. So I'll keep a track on it, but I think obviously the leader of the home run power is going to be Pete. So he's just got to just stick within himself and not try to do too much.
I do see what you're saying about the pressure being on him in terms of breaking Daryl's record, but I think the pressure when it comes to Pete Alonso is him not going through what he went through last year in terms of striking out a lot and being really inconsistent, and also duplicating the bad numbers with runners in scoring position. If he's going through that same issue again, then we really have to have a conversation about Pete Alonso. Now, if Pete Alonso, obviously his numbers with runners in scoring position go up, he's walking more, he's chasing less out of the strike zone. If we're seeing that on a consistent basis, then I think Pete Alonso, I think he's earned that contract so far. He's earned the Mets giving him an extension because you're seeing a different approach with Pete Alonso, especially with the effect of Juan Soto being here. Him hitting behind Juan Soto can really have an effect. Him with Mark Vientos hitting in front of Juan Soto can also have an effect. That's kind of why I brought those two up in terms of prediction, because I think if we go based on the lineup that I want, where it's Lindor, Vientos, Soto, and then Alonso. Juan Soto being that one piece to help these guys be even more better than what they are can really be a story that we could really talk about. Because like I said, Juan Soto could be that one batter that could do anything he wants in any part of the lineup. But when you got guys like a young Mark Vientos who's still in the learning process, and then you got a Pete Alonso who is a vet, but we've seen struggle a lot in terms of his approach in at the plate. You bring one guy in who has a crazy IQ, I would say the best IQ in the game, and everything just switches. So I think with Juan Soto being that key piece with those two in particularly, because guys like Brandon Nimmo, we know what Brandon Nimmo could do no matter where you put him, right? Brandon Nimmo has his hot and cold streaks, but when he's hot, he hits for power, he hits for contact. There's other guys that we could talk about, but those two guys for me are the key, because we know what Lindor is going to do. But what is Mark Vientos going to do in his second year? Is Juan Soto going to be a factor? With Juan Soto being here, what are we getting out of Alonso being our power hitter and being the next guy on this team that's the vet and that could be a co-captain next to Lindor, especially because the way the whole contract thing happened and now him getting his money and him being what he is on this team is Juan Soto going to be a factor to where everything changes for Alonso? He becomes a much better hitter than what he was previously. So that's kind of why I wanted to throw those two at you guys, because I think they play pivotal key roles in terms of our lineup, not just, Lindor and Soto. But the last thing that we'll get into before we close up here, shout out to the 189 that's in here. We want to talk about the 2025 schedule. I'll put the schedule up here. We kind of want to go month by month in terms of our predictions of how we think each month is going to go. So I'll put the schedule up here right here for you guys. And you guys let me know. We obviously start off on April. We got opening day here on the 27th. We got 3 games against Houston. We're off on Sunday, which is kind of weird. We're never off on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that Sunday off. That's a weird way to start off.
But I guess hey, well, why not? We'll take it.
All right. So you want to do how we think they'll start March off and then go to April?
Absolutely. Give me your guys' prediction on the first 3 games against Houston. We'll start with AP. We'll start with you.
Oh, all right. Great. No pressure. All right. So the Mets are the champions of opening day. We know that they have an amazing opening day record. They have a banner, according to some Yankee fans out there, that we have the banner of the championship of the opening day. So no shots, just saying. I'm going to say this is a tricky schedule to start off in Houston, because Houston's no joke. Oh man. I want to be optimistic. So I'm going to say we take 2 out of 3 to start off the season.
Do we win opening day?
The one?
Do we win opening day, or do you see?
We're the opening day champs. So we got 2 out of 3, and that Marlins game on the 31st. I'm saying we start off March 3-1. So I'm gonna put 3-1 for me. We're 3-1 to start off the campaign this year.
Okay. Chris, how you see this Houston series starting out for us?
Bro, we're going 162-0. That's what we're going. No, bro. But I mean, realistically, I see 3-1 there too. I can see 3-1. I feel like we're gonna win the series in Houston. I'm feeling the Mets are gonna come out hot. They end the spring training really hot with their bats. I don't know if that means anything, but I feel like Houston is a good team, but they've lost a lot of pieces, so they're not really like the old Houston. So I feel like there's a good shot we could go 3-1 in April. Yeah, I can see. I mean, in March, I can see that happening.
Amish, talk to me. How we feeling about this first series?
I think we take 2 out of 3. Maybe I'm being overconfident, but like Chris said, I think the Astros have lost a little bit. I think part of the hype with Soto and just the energy around him is going to push the team. Like, I think the Mets are going to come out there get a little hype tomorrow. We are the opening day champs, so
Yeah,
I feel like we're I don't know. We're jinxing it, but I feel like we got tomorrow definitely. And I just think we could take one more after that. So definitely 2-1 to start. And I'll agree with AP and say we're going to take that Marlins game too. So that'll start us off 3-1.
All right.
Okay. All right. So we go on to April. Obviously, we got.
Oh, Top, you didn't say yours. What you got?
Oh yeah. Well, I got us winning 2 out of 3. See, I was on the sweet part, but then I was like, let me not push it. We're just coming back.
You don't want to be too greedy. Not too greedy.
Yeah. Let me not push it. However, if they do get into a hot start, I could see us taking 4 straight from Miami. I'm gonna be real.
Yo, I want to add. We owe Houston an ass whooping. I feel like Houston needs an ass whooping bad from us. Also, I didn't like the little comments. I don't know if it was the owner, but somebody out there in that organization was talking a bunch of smack about the Mets spent a lot of money. So I'm like, all right. I think that the Mets, it would be a real the Houston series. The last couple of years, we got our ass whooped in Houston. They came and they messed up our winning streak in City last year too. I think it would be nice to beat them up at home. Also, maybe Altuve drops a couple of balls. Maybe Altuve can't play left field. Maybe we hit it over there, and he's just playing like an idiot out there, and we make him look stupid. So
Well, that's the game plan. Just hit it to left field.
just hit it to left field and see what he could do.
Honestly, if I'm Mendy, I'm telling them all that. Yo, just hit it to left field. We'll score 13 runs on these.
I'm pretty sure that's in their team meeting.
That's the everybody hit it to left. Just hit it to left.
That's on the whiteboard when they walk into the locker room. Hit it to Altuve because
it's not gonna be easy. I'm gonna tell you right now. Like I'm not super confident. Because tomorrow's Houston start is no joke. That brother is and I can't believe they haven't extended him. But I think that if we could put some hits together, and if Holmes could do what he's been doing since spring training, he gives us a shot. And if our lineup could just like wear this guy out, like we have a shot.
So as you see here, obviously the 2 games against the Marlins, we finish off that 4-game series, and then we come home. We're back home. We play the loneliness bottom feeders of the Blue Jays, and then we play the Marlins again.
Did you hear who's starting for them? Who's starting?
Max Scherzer.
Max Scherzer starting
on Friday.
On Friday for the Blue Jays.
Just load up my trash talking gun real quick, just because I'm gonna be there. Okay, well, that makes it even more better. Then we got the Marlins. I feel bad for those brothers because they got to face us again. And then we go to Sacramento. We say hi to Louis. We go to the Minnesota, and then we come back to play St. Louis. We play the Phillies. That one right there is on my bucket list, obviously, because it's the Phillies. We go to Washington for 4, and then we come back to play. If I am not mistaken, I think we play 3 against Arizona. They come here, if I'm not mistaken. Right. Yeah, 3 because we end up on May 1st. So, how do you guys think April's rounding out for us?
So this is where the Mets have a quote unquote easier schedule than this part of the season is considered the easiest part for us, right? So we got to take advantage of some of these. The Blue Jays, I'm not gonna front on the Blue Jays. I think the Blue Jays have they have a decent team. I don't think they're trash. I think their pitching is good. It's a decent pitching staff. I think their offense is more than capable of putting up runs. So I'm not gonna front on the Blue Jays. I think if we're looking at the series, I think to wrap up with Miami, I think Alcantara's not pitching in that series, is he? I think. Oh no,
yeah, I think they have
one. He gets one game there, so we probably see him twice, which is unfair. But we got to see Alcantara twice. I think we have the potential to take those 2 though. Out of the Blue Jays, I'll say maybe 2 out of 3 there. So then. That's 4 games. The Marlins, I think we have potential. I honestly think we have the potential to sweep them at home. So I think we have that. I think that's 7 games. We go to Sacramento for the A's now. I don't know. That's a West Coast trip, so that's our first West Coast trip. And that's a really quick turnaround too. I think we could beat those guys up. I'll say 2 there. Minnesota. Minnesota doesn't scare me, but I don't know if the Mets are gonna be pulling off sweeps. I'll say 2 there. The Cardinals, it's a 4-game series. Out of those 4, give me 3. Now this is where it gets interesting. The Phillies series. We got the Phillies at home.
Sweet.
Well, I would love to. This is going to be the first big. I mean, after the Houston series, I think this is the biggest one after that. And
yeah,
you know what? I want to keep the good times rolling. I think we get Mania by this point too.
Yeah, so I'll redirect that one actually. I think the biggest one after the Houston series has to be Toronto for everything that we included with Toronto and all the free agency.
Well, that's only in Flip's mind. That's the only.
We have a shout out to Master Flip. Right.
Oh man,
that's actually scouting day for Master Flip because his boy is coming back, is coming to Citi Field. So everybody else is just thinking about a Mets win. Master Flip's gonna be with his goggles, just watching everything that he does, because he's gonna start doing his photoshops and all that. So that's Master Flip's week. So
I tallied everything up because I'm thinking we could take 3 of 4 against the Washington in that series, and to end the month 1 of 2 with the Diamondbacks. Tallying everything up, I got the Mets could possibly win 20. I think the Mets could win 20 this month.
Those two, and then did you only tally up the wins, or did you tally up the wins?
No, just the wins right now. Out of the games that we got, I got 20. So I'm gonna see how many I'm missing. But
There's
I got
27 games there on the.
They have how many?
27 games, I think.
In the month? All right. So out of 27, I'm saying the Mets go 20-7.
Yeah.
That's optimistic. Right? Maybe I'm being a homer, but I think that they have the potential for 20-7 in that month.
See, I was like, okay, damn, we start off like that.
Amish is like your AP, you're my guy, but that's not
Blame Soto.
Different number, man. I was saying out of the 27, I was saying 16.
Yo, all I had to do was
bring it down.
All I had to do was looking at. I saw Amish do this.
Well, what did you say, Chris? How many did you get?
I was trying to be conservative. I was saying 16 out of 27. Right?
16 out of 27? All right, so Chris got 16 out of 27.
Yeah, I
16, 17. I was
so that's what, 16 and 11. All right, so you got him at 16 and 11.
That's not bad. That's actually realistic for.
Remember what I said? The goal is to be over 500. That's the goal.
No, I got you. Hey, the only difference between me and you is four games. So that's not crazy. It's a 4-game.
20-7 sounds wild, but you say 16 and 11.
Hey, 16 and 11 and 20-7. It's only a difference of 4. And the reason why I'm saying that is I am thinking that the Mets have the potential. Now, what could swing it is if we lose, let's say that Philly series, if we lose a series like unexpectedly, or maybe or tie like that Washington series, I could see like certain things like that happening. I was just, trying to stay on the side of optimism, but no, I could totally see 16 and 11 makes sense. I'm not saying it's not. How
about you, Amish? What you got, Amish?
I went super conservative.
Okay.
I know we got injuries. I know we have certain guys that get off to slow starts.
Mm-hmm.
Cold weather, you got to factor in. I don't think I did April alone. The way I tallied it up, I combined March and April because there was only a few games in March.
Yeah.
I went 17 and 14 for the
17 and 14. Yeah. All right, so then that would account for. So you did how many? We had 4 games. So we had 4 games in March. So those 4 games, you said 3-1. So if I'm taking those 3 games away, then how much did you say? 17. So that would be 14 and what? How many losses?
Yeah. I lost count.
All right, so it's 27. So
you
so that's 14. So you have it at 14 and 13.
Yeah,
so
14 and 13. I have a very mediocre first month, but
very 500-ish month.
Over 500. Over 500. That's
it's 500 over 500 first month.
And Top, what you got? Top, what you got?
One of these months we got to go over a lot, right?
Yeah. I would think it would be April. I think April is a month where we should be dominating. But what you got, Top?
Well, I got them at 15 and 15. I got them right at 500.
You got them at well, hold on. It can't. It's only 27 games.
Yeah, sorry, excuse me. I mean, my numbers are messed up. I could tell you right now, I have them losing the series against Oakland.
Okay, you have them losing in Sacramento.
Yeah, just because that Sacramento team is young, they're pesky. And they're a little bit different.
I have them sweeping over. They're gonna be in a AAA park, and this Swanso's gonna feed.
If Alonso doesn't get like 13 home runs, that's a disappointment.
The whole game goes one-man show. Then hey, prove me wrong. But
I mean, Pete too. These guys are gonna be in a.
I can see them taking that Oakland series, but I honestly worry about that Twin series. I could see them losing.
Yeah, that could be a potential.
Yeah,
I know why? Because it's cold.
Yeah. That's a good point.
I was gonna say that one next too.
All right, so what we're saying? What, Top? You're saying what, like about 14, 13 as well?
I would probably say
13.
14-13.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so then I'm bugging, and I'm the only one that's insane. So there you go. I'm insane, and I said 20 and 7.
Well, if we go with
Apologies to
18,
everyone.
we're gonna win 116 games.
Listen,
Yo,
I hope
that's what I'm shooting for.
I hope you're right, AP. That's all.
Yo,
I hope
for
so
real, I
too.
agree.
Yo, if AP,
All right, so
that
we
actually
get.
hits AP, bro. AP, I'm buying you food, bro. Tell your
Yo,
wife.
if we get that, yo, that would mean if I'm right, that would mean that the Mets would start off, including March, 23-8.
It's the power of Juan Soto.
Yo, I think I drank the Kool-Aid. All right, so looking at this one, we finish off with the Diamondbacks in a matinee game. Then we go to
St. Louis for
St.
3.
Louis. We
go
get the Diamondbacks, the Cubs,
Come back
Pittsburgh.
for first of all, why would y'all even why? Why we gotta go to the West to come back home?
I don't understand the schedule at all. It doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't make sense.
Okay, so we got 3 against St. Louis in St. Louis. Then we got to go to Arizona for 3. Then we come back home to play 3 against Chicago, 3 against Pittsburgh. We'll probably see Paul Skeens in one of those. Then my favorite one of the year, we play in the Bronx. And then we go to Boston. And then we come back to play Ohtani and the Dodgers. That one should be interesting. And then we play the White Sox. That's a sweep. And then we play 2 against Colorado here. And then we start off June, finishing off the next 2. I believe I think we're in a 4-game or 3-game. But I do know we finished that series. No, it's a 3-game. So yeah. So what do you guys think about May? Yeah.
This is a way more challenging. I'm trying to be honest with myself and not gas myself. So I think that we win that game against the Diamondbacks to win the series, because I think the Mets always play the Diamondbacks really well here. I think St. Louis. I think against St. Louis we win 2. Against the Diamondbacks in Arizona, that's the one I don't know how that's gonna go. That one could be swing. That could be a swing one.
Miss, yeah.
The Chicago one, I think we should win. I think we should win the Pittsburgh one too.
Yeah. You know what it is a lot.
Pittsburgh, man, that's Paul Skeens, man.
That's the one. I feel like we're gonna lose one of those games if he pitches. Boston, that has the potential to be a really tough series too.
The Dodgers
series.
Yeah,
this month is hard.
Yeah. This is a really tough. I mean, it's funny because they sprinkle in the ass Sox and the ass Rockies, so it's almost like, well, you guys went through that. You went through the Yankees, Red Sox, and your reward is the White Sox and Colorado.
Right, they're giving us the Askies, right, for 3, and then we got to go to the Red Sox. So I would say we go. You know what? I'll cut them slack. I say we take 2 out of 3.
We got 27 games in this month too.
Wait, in the calendar, that's all Thursdays off?
4, I think.
We have all Thursdays except for that one Thursday.
Wow.
That's crazy. Yeah. So we got what, 27 games?
24.
Yeah, it's 27 again. Yeah.
You have what, 24? You said?
I thought it was 24.
So,
Wait,
right?
what month are we on? May?
4, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. No, that's 27.
Oh, yeah, I missed. What the hell?
So for me, it's 2 out of 3 from St. Louis. We take. I would say we win 1 in Arizona, because I feel like every time we go to Arizona, it's always an issue. We take 2 out of 3 from the Cubs. I'm not saying sweep. I think we can sweep the Pirates, in my opinion. So it's a sweep in the Pirates. 2 out of 3 from the Yankees. I would say 2 out of 3 from Boston. We either I don't know about the Dodgers. That one I would say we take 1 out of 2. I feel. I don't know. That one's a little hard. And then we sweep, in my opinion, Chicago, and we sweep the Rockies. That one's kind of up and down, just because of how I look at the Diamondback series and how I look at the Dodgers series.
So I'm trying to be as
Conservative.
not that much of a homer this time. I'm gonna say that the Mets are 18, 18 and 9. So I'm going 18 and 9 this week.
Not much of a homer, man.
Not much of a homer. And that's me trying to like tell me that they're gonna lose. I feel like they are gonna lose. They're gonna lose 2 series this month. I think they have the potential to lose. I don't know. I see back-to-back losses. Actually, yeah, I see them losing in Boston, and the Dodgers series could be a potential losing series too.
I feel like they can take the Boston series. It's the Dodgers one that scares me, bro. That's what I'm saying. That's
all right. So what did you get, Chris? What did you have them?
Well, I'm very confused. I would think they're gonna go like 14-13. Yeah.
14 and 13 here. Okay. What you got, Amish?
See, I went crazy. This is the month I went crazy.
Now I'm scared. What does that mean? What is crazy?
I gave him 18 wins this month.
You gave him 18 too. So me and you, we share no brain. All right, 18 and 9 there. And what you say, Top?
I would say 14 and 13.
14 and 13. So you and Chris are staying with the just.
I'm saying the safe road because I love to be wrong. So
okay.
I mean, yeah. It's just that it's one of those things where they go to Arizona and you know you're coming back from a road trip from St. Louis, then you got to go out west. Like I don't know how that plays.
I don't like the
travel is kind of crazy.
Right,
that from Boston day off and then
right. That could play
Did you guys notice this? Did you notice that Boston series every single game's a 6:45 start?
Yeah,
that's interesting. A 6:45 start.
Hey.
Like that's what I'm saying. Look at that.
The Mets got some crazy. The Cubs start is at 11:35.
6:45, and then you travel the travel day. Like it's.
What is baseball? 11:35 on.
You
that's a crazy.
I have to wait because this game is on my season ticket pack. I gotta wake up at 9 a.m. Are you kidding me, bro?
Well, there you go.
Wow.
I think that's Mother's Day, isn't it? That might be Mother's Day.
That might be Mother's Day. That might be why.
They're trying to get you out to chill with your mom, man. Go chill with your mom on that day.
That is Mother's Day.
That is Mother's Day. Now that I'm thinking about it.
11:35. Well, there you go.
You know what it is?
I game and get home to your mom.
You know how is it Roku now that does the early first?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's either them. Yeah, I think so. Or Peacock or something. I don't know.
Jesus.
I think they moved it to Roku now.
Yeah, maybe. This whole they're doing too much with the streaming stuff, but we'll talk about that some other time. Yeah, the streaming is just I can't believe the first Friday game we got to deal with Apple TV. Like that's just like insane.
Says it right here.
Is there any way we can like speed through the next few?
Yeah. So
all right, let's keep going. All right, so June. Let's look at June.
Or do you guys want to like scoot over to like July? Like how do y'all want?
I mean, just guess the count the game and just.
Yeah, how many games we got? How many games we got in June?
27.
We got 27, and this is wow. We got this is the first time we see the Braves. We're going to Philly. We're going to LA for 4. We got Tampa.
Okay, I say we take 2 out of 4 from LA. We sweep the Rockies. We sweep the Nationals. I say we take 2 out of 3 from Tampa, and then. Oh, damn, that Brave series right there. That first one. God damn, bro.
2, that's 6.
I got him. I 17 and 10. That's where I got him.
See, I regressed. I went back down to 14 and 13.
You got so Amish went
first 3 months, bro. I think I
went back to 14 and 13. You said,
yeah.
All right. And what did you say, Chris? This is the month that they go up to what? 17?
17. You know why? Because I feel like they're gonna. This is crunch time right here, so they're just gonna turn it up right here.
You know, I'm gonna say for me, it almost feels like this is gonna be like a 16 and 11. Yeah, it's a 16 and 11.
I actually had a 17.
Oh wow! So you and Chris are like
now that I'm looking at it, because Chris is right. I always look at it from the standpoint of we really start judging them on what they start doing from June up until October.
All right. Let's go to July.
Let's go.
All right, how many we got this month? We got the All-Star break here. So we got the Brewers in town. We got 1,
Yankees.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. We got 24 games because of the break. We are facing the Brewers. We got the Yankees at home. Then we go to Baltimore, KC. We got the Reds. We got Anaheim. We go to San Fran. And then we go to San Diego on this is a longer West Coast trip. What I say? We had 24?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think, okay, this month could be I think 13 and 11 type month for me. 13 and 11.
I went 15 and 9.
15 and 9.
I went 6. I
Where are
went
we? Okay,
16,
15 and 9.
8.
Okay.
I went 16 and 8 on this one.
16 and 8?
17 and 9.
17. You added
Wait,
2.
wait, you added some games on that. You can't wait.
Sorry.
Chris, what did you say?
17.
I went 16 and 8.
16 and 8. Wow. And Top is giving them more games than they got. So what do you got, Top?
He's like, because it's the All-Star game.
Yeah, I think he said the National League wins too for the Mets.
Hey, if Pete Alonso's back in the Home Run Derby, he wins it.
Oh God, please don't. Well, so how many are you giving them out of 24 here?
I say 16 and 9 as well.
16 and 9 too.
Mhm.
All right, let's go to August. The dog days of summer are here now.
Yeah.
So what do we got here? All right.
Roll.
We got the Giants at home. We got Cleveland coming in. We got the Brewers there. We're going to the Brewers. We got Atlanta again. We got Seattle. We got Washington. We go back to Atlanta. I think we wrap up with Atlanta in August. We got Philly at home, and we got the Marlins. Okay, the MLB is not doing us any favors at the end of this year. Wow. We got 6 with Atlanta. How many games is this? This is
27.
27 again?
games?
27 again?
27 or 28?
I think it's 28.
28, yeah.
Yeah, it's 28 games. Wow. Wow. Yeah, I think this has a potential for me. I'm gonna say 14 and 14 here.
I said 16 and 12.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm with Amish on this.
I
All
said
right, so Top
14 and 13.
you Top, what did you say?
14 and 13.
14 and 13.
You ever seen a game? No?
Wait, no, we have 28, sir. You need one more.
14 and 14.
14 and 14, so you're with me. Chris, what did you say?
I said the same thing as Amish.
I'm at 16 and 12.
Yeah.
So I started optimistic. You guys went the opposite. Now I'm like starting to come back down to earth. You guys are like going more optimistic.
Because I feel like they're gonna be right there in the crunch time, and I'm feeling it's gonna
I feel like the
taking over right now.
Right. I don't think the Guardians ones is an easy one. I don't see any. Honestly, I don't see anything easy here. Like even the Washington series, I don't know.
I think it's a sweep.
I think it's a sweep in Washington. That's if anything, they take 2 out of 3 in that.
The Marlins series at the end, maybe, and who knows if Alcantara's even on that team. So maybe we have a shot to.
Yeah.
All right, then let's go to September then.
It's very like conservative because you just never know.
Yeah. September's the one.
And this is September. Now we are in Detroit. We're in Cincinnati. We got 4 in Philly. DeGrom is probably pitching against us in Texas. San Diego, the Washington. We got Chicago, and we end with the Marlins, who always do witchcraft against us at that. All right, how many games is this?
Okay,
25.
We got 25 here.
I'm just gonna throw it out there because I already did it.
Okay.
I got us finishing hot, man. I went 17 and 8.
17 and 8, sir. All right.
I went 16 wins. I don't know.
Chris got 16.
I got 16 as well. 16.
16 and what, 9?
Yeah, 16 and 9.
16 and 9. Top got 16 and 9.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this is since he finished. It's 25 games. Yeah, I want them to go in with some momentum. So, I'll rock with what you guys are saying. I'll say 16-9 also. You know what? No, I'm going to say 15-10. 15-10. All right.
My grand total is 97 wins and 65.
You got Amish, you got how many?
97 wins.
97 wins for the New York Mets. Do they win the division with 97 wins?
I would think
they got
absolutely think so.
97 wins takes the division. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
97. All right, I got to tally mine because I did not. Amish came prepared. He's like the human calculator.
I'll be honest, I didn't even tally mine.
Yeah, I gotta tally this because now I'm intrigued. I went super high early, so I got 20. I got 23 wins by April, and then I got another 18. That's 41 plus 16 plus 13 plus 14, 84. Oh my God. All right. Well, if you thought you had crazy numbers, I may, you know what? It may happen. I got them at 99 wins. So I got them at 99 wins.
It's
99
that
wins
that
and
27 months.
a problem.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't tally mine, but I know I'm up in the upper 90s, whatever.
All right, you want me to tally yours, Chris?
90s is what I have to be.
Yeah, sure, because I don't have a.
All right, so we got Chris with the 3, then Chris got 16, so that's 19 by the end of April. Then he had 14, then he had 17, then the 16 because he kept increasing on this, then another 16, and he ended up. All right, Chris, you're not much better than me. You're 98. You got 98 wins for the Mets.
I don't
think I'm that high. I have a feeling I'm not that high.
You don't think you're that high? I thought you were like matching Chris like back.
Yeah, I thought
you're gonna
Chris
be there too.
Pretty much.
I think that you and Chris probably matched. All right, so let's see. You had 3, and then you had Top had what? 14. And then another 14, and then 17, then 16, then 14, then 16, and that. All right, so I think Top might be the most realistic. He had 94 wins, so Top had 94. So Amish has 97. I think the Mets are getting close to the century mark at 99. Chris got 98. And Top got 94. Are you guys predicting the division?
Yes. I'm
Amish does not seem confident. Are you going division winning too or no?
Yeah, no. If we win 94 games, even not 94 games, I think we win the division. I think if we hover below that, like 90 to 92, I think we could lose it. But I think 94 wins it.
Okay. So I cannot believe, I really did not, I didn't start this thinking we were winning 99. I just really think that April is such a key month for the Mets. I think that April is definitely a month that they got to take advantage of because looking at the end of the schedule, I think this end of the schedule shit is absolutely brutal. I'm not a fan of this end of schedule.
Go by AP's April and we go 500 the rest of the way. You do reach the upper 90.
What I did is I actually had them finishing stronger because I believe between Stearns adding pieces at the deadline and guys coming up like Sproat, maybe some other kid pops up that we don't expect. Like I really think that they'll end up adding pieces that are going to make this team better at the end of the season.
So Amish, what you're saying is that if my April happens and the Mets get Alcantara, then we can possibly go to 110.
It's
God
possible.
damn.
Oh Jesus, yo, AP. Okay.
Give me all the
Yeah, I
wins.
guess with that we can
Listen,
end
we
it with
gotta
the
manifest
See,
some
I'm
good
gonna be
shit with
honest with
this
you.
team.
I'm gonna be honest with you. AP, you know I fucks with you. And I'm not saying this to throw any jabs at you whatsoever, but for the one motherfucker that throws the most negative and optimistic tweets about the
Hey, it's season's
you
Eve.
got
It's
them at a
it's
high
season of
level, bro.
miracles.
Dude,
I like this AP. I'm riding with
Yeah.
positive
This
AP.
AP got to be for the whole season.
I
man.
like it, but he threw me off a little bit because I was
I
like,
didn't look.
He-
I
like
didn't
I said,
expect him to come out hot with 20 wins off the bat.
I didn't expect it either. But I'm just sitting there and I'm thinking to
When he
myself,
said 28, I was like, what? Wait, what?
I
What?
said,
yeah, I can't condone this. I think that you shouldn't day drink. And not that I drank at all today, but just don't do it in general.
Hey.
No, honestly, I'm sitting there and I'm like, yo, I don't know where I got this 99 wins from. But I just feel like looking at that April schedule, if the Mets could hold off
take advantage.
on losing, like if they win what they should win, and they live like they don't have like Lindor get off to a slow start. If they get if the cold weather isn't killing them, and I think that that has potential to be a really momentum building month. Now, I love the perspective that Amish and Chris have. I do think that if the Mets could carry those months at the end, especially against that type of competition, it bodes well for them too. Like I started going a little bit further down because the competition was getting stronger and they were obviously facing a lot of challenges on those road trips and everything. But I mean, I love the balance that you guys mentioned. If you stay, it's crazy. Like even with staying 14 and 14, if you don't have any negative months, if you could stay 14, but have a couple of months where you're a couple of games above,
A little bit over.
you really could see yourself getting to that 90 plateau. So it's just a matter of not having any negative months. You've got to stay over 500, which I think this team has the capability of doing. So realistically, 90 wins is not out of the realm of possibility for this team. I think,
yeah, I appreciate you having me on, but I got to get to bed. I
got you. And we appreciate Amish coming on. He is the unofficial host of this squad right now. So
if I'm an unofficial fourth host, I'm gladly in.
But appreciate you, Amish, for joining.
And Amish, before you leave, happy season's Eve. May all your Mets wishes come true, sir.
All right, I appreciate y'all, and same to you, and happy opening day to everybody tomorrow. I hope you enjoy your day.
Yes,
hope you don't have to work too late.
I do. I'm so sad.
Yeah. But man, enjoy. Again, appreciate y'all. Any other time you want me on, I'm happy to be on.
You got it,
sir. Appreciate you. Thank you. Same
man. Hold it down for us in PA, sir.
All right.
Take it easy.
That being said, appreciate everybody tuning in, the 218 that joined in, man. Appreciate my guys as always, man. Chris and AP for giving it.
Top. Can I get a time? I got one quick thing before we gotta bounce. I know everybody's busy and everybody gotta work tomorrow. I gotta wake up early, so you guys can relax. 1 sec. But I wanted to bring up two things. One, the Mets cover on SI, the Mets on SI just shows you that this team is going in a different direction. But I wanted to bring up the article on Juan Soto specifically because I was reading it this morning, and a thing that I found very fascinating about it, people could talk about why he signed here, blah, 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 about like so many people are saying, oh, it's just the money, just say the money. He doesn't want to say the money. It's his prerogative. It doesn't matter. But one of the things that I found fascinating about the article that I wanted to address is he mentioned the owner. He mentioned the owner being a big reason why he wanted to come here. And Cohen was quoted throughout that whole article talking about that these meetings with Boris, he left them being like, he does not want to come here. He got the worst impression. Like Soto even mentioned like, yo, I need protection in the lineup, and like your team doesn't have no protection. And Cohen really left leaving like, yo, I don't think he wants to come here. I think he's going to the Yankees. But Soto flat out came out and said, yo, one of the things I really liked about just those meetings is Cohen himself. Like Cohen coming out and being at those meetings. Cohen said, I'm not having those meetings in a hotel like Boris wanted to have it. You guys are coming to my crib. He brought them over to the house. He brought them. He had Soto watch the video on how the Mets are family oriented, how we're run on player development, and he sold him on himself as an owner. So one thing that we got to appreciate right now is the owner of the New York Mets and his power to really sway free agents to come here just based off the love that he has for this team and the dedication that he has to this team. We've built up our player development. We have we have a bunch of stuff that we're working on analytics wise, where our room in analytics blew up. It's like 3 times what it used to be. Like all this stuff is happening under his watch, and it doesn't go unnoticed that he's a real fan. And it doesn't go unnoticed that Stearns is a real fan. Like they really bleed orange and blue, just like we do. So I just wanted to point it out on this festive day of Season's Eve that we got ownership that actually cares and actually gives a damn about this team and are willing to go the extra mile to show generational talents like Juan Soto that this is the destination. Because Soto said it himself. The Yankees were the number one place he was going to go. He had no doubt at the beginning of it, like they were number one. And then something happened in that meeting where it was like, they're not doing things the way that I want them to do it. And the Mets, their owner, is speaking volumes. At the end of the day, money talks. So we know he got the highest money, but comes from the owner that's willing to spend it. So with that being said, I just want to say LFGM. Let's get the game started. Let's get ready to rumble. Let's take the whole damn thing in 2025. Let's take it.
Sure. Opening day tomorrow. Full coverage starts at 3 p.m. We'll be posting a lot of some of the coverage on 7 Express, all social media, man. The time is here. I'm excited. I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it. Again, it's like AP said, it's money talks, but it's not only about the money. It's about the vision. It's about the family that you bring in here. Everybody could talk about how doing festivities and doing all these other things doesn't win you baseball games. But at the end of the day, if you can't do the right things to contract superstars, you're not going anywhere. So at the end of the day, we got the superstar. We did what we needed to do to not only change our franchise, change our fan base, but bring more guys in here. And if that's the way we win, that's the way we win. Worry about your team. We worry about ours. That's at the end of the day, we got our superstar. And listen, it's not our fault. Guys from other fan bases are gonna start watching Mets baseball.
So. I just want to say one thing. I know I wasn't gonna mention it. I don't want no shots, but we took a shot today, so I'm gonna take my shot back. It's not all the time that you have a toilet city. It's not my fault the man wants a toilet city, son. So you know what toilets do best? They flush shit out. So that's what we're doing here. We're flushing shit out. And that's what we do on this side.
So, keep my city's name out your mouth.
All I want to say is that I really don't. Shout out to Mr. 764. All I want to say,
shout out to my chat TPT niggas, yo. Heard that?
All I want to say, mañana comienza la pelea.
La fiesta, coño. Ya tú sabes.
Tomorrow the vibes really start. We're gonna see this man do the shuffle. And hopefully these men take us to a whole nother level, man. I mean, it's already there. We've been warning people for 5, 6, 7 years, but they didn't believe us. And now that it's finally happening, the niggas don't know how to act. But it's all right. It's all right. I mean, sorry for that word. Sorry for that word.
Hey, you deserve to get that
No offense to
all out.
anybody.
You deserve to get that all out.
Dudes
But
don't know how to act, and we embrace it. Over here in Queens baseball and stuff, we embrace it.
ladies and
Embrace all the
gentlemen,
hate.
we embrace
And
it
that's how
all.
we end it. I
We
embrace the way hate.
embrace it all. We embrace
Tráemelo todo.
Houston Astros versus the New York Mets at Minute Maid Park. I will be calling it that because that's the only way I know it. 4:10 start time. Juan Soto is going to step up to the plate as a New York Met. Don't you ever forget it, no matter where you are. Tune into the game because history will be made. And if you think tomorrow will be crazy, April 4th at 3:10 against the Toronto Blue Jays, we're going to have the Puerto Rican flag. We're going to have the Dominican flag. We're having Sancocho in the middle of the day. We're having all the Coronas, all the fucking rum, the Hennessy. Get everything out of there because we're bringing the party home.
Yo, Steve ain't ready. Steve ain't ready to have that many Hispanics in the ballpark. He's just not ready.
He needs it. He knew what he was
Well,
signing up for.
he wanted to bring the culture. We bring the culture.
We bring it live.
That Latin culture that we're so proud of. That's what we're doing. We're bringing it. But listen, I want to get my sleep in because I want to get through work tomorrow and I want to get home and I want to watch this game. Shout out to the 224 that joined in.
Shout out to everyone that showed up.
Yo,
let's go Mets, baby.
Everybody show love to my guys AP and Chris, man. They take the time out of their days to do this, man. They wouldn't be possible without them. They put in hard work with everything that they do, man. Please show them love. Follow them on X, follow them on Instagram. They do a lot of hard work. I will put their links in the description. Just show them love, man. It's not me. I do this for them. We do it together as a family. We do it for the fan base. We do it because we love this team, man. But without them, this shit wouldn't be possible. So please show them love and support. I appreciate you, fellas. We will talk tomorrow, and we got the party rolling tomorrow, man. Appreciate everybody, and we will see you guys on the next video. Peace.
This is SNY's Gary Cohen, and this train ride is over. This is the last stop on the train. Please exit onto the platform. Thank you for riding with us.